So, miraculously, well, the majority of people made it down the mountain alive, uh, apart from Perkieran, who smashed his head off a rock and died, and Talia, who was put out of her misery so the rest of the group could make it to the bottom in time before they all died. And even
Yes.
at that, he's barely reached the bottom. Getting to the bottom of the mountain, the snow is like there's not really much snow near the bottom. It's mostly just up on the actual peak itself, but the bottom is pretty much empty of snow. It's like a normal day, just colder than normal, still very cloudy. And down this far, it is raining instead of snowing. But in the distance, looking across the hills and parts of the mountain in the way, you do see smoke rising from the direction of the tin mine.
Was there always smoke rising from the tin mine?
No, I mean a lot of smoke, not just a fire.
Yes, the lizard people have risen up and taken revenge.
Hmm.
Revenge, air quotes.
Yes, in massive air quotes. So the group is all
We should
well.
go back there and
The three
actually
members
see
of
them.
the group have made it to the bottom. It is nighttime right now. So what do you want to do?
Time for an hour's sleep to recover the wounds.
Can we gather enough wood around us, or is it still pretty
There's
barren
a
around?
couple like lightly spread out trees in the area, so you could gather up some wood.
We'll gather up some wood and start a wee fire.
So shakily, tripping over your own feet in the night, you get to some of the trees, collect up enough sticks, and light yourselves a nice, sweet, cozy fire.
Yes, and then I shall put out my bedroll
Ah, yes, that you took, indeed.
and I
Hey,
shall
wait a minute.
I shall
Where'd you get that?
I found it. uh, I shall head to sleep and
Okay, so you're going to
I
sleep.
need sleep too.
Karak's going to
uh,
sleep. Are you going to want to put up watches in the night?
yes, we shall leave.
This close
Uh,
to the mountain?
we shall leave Umbar on first watch, and then I'll take second watch, and Macaulay can take the last
Okay, so Umar, still cold, freezing, tired, stays up for the first watch to make sure
Oh
nothing
my goodness, why am I
happens.
so tired?
You're role playing, Macaulay. That's what's going on here.
Sorry, I'm
You're
just very
role
tired.
playing your tiredness.
I am role playing. I'm role playing. Just incredibly
But
watch.
what was I gonna say? So the watches go well during the night, but you can start to see like the smoke in the direction of the tin mine like is lit up, and the side of the mountain that you can see off in the distance is ablaze with lights, and you can hear the faint screams of death and battle in that direction.
Hello.
It gets to pretty
I hear
close
I hear
to
nothing but birds.
no,
Mm,
no. You hear the
No,
screams in battle.
no, no. That's
It's,
only that's only that's only a
it's your
dying
imagination.
animal. It's your it's imagination.
Yeah,
There's no more.
Totally.
in complete denial. Complete denial.
Exactly.
But
I
it
mean,
is quite shaking to hear these high pitched wails and screams as women and children are being butchered in their homes. You can hear the occasional clash of steel in the distance as fighting is breaking out. It's a very rough night with such a commotion going on in the distance, just within earshot.
I'm gonna sleep like a baby.
Indeed.
So, as morning comes, the smoke is still billowing up into the sky, and the fighting is still going on.
Oh, damn.
This is a long, drawn-out combat. There's not as much screams that you can hear, more just shouts of battle than the screams of dying civilians.
Ah, frig them.
Probably putting up their last stand.
So, what do you want to do now?
Well, we could help them people, and even if we did, they would probably hang us after. So, I say we will just set out towards the hideout
We definitely.
to report in.
Okay, so you make pretty much the day's journey in the direction of the hideout.
Yep.
Aye.
Okay. Well, more like 2 days journey, but
Are we also back up to full health?
yes, you will be back to your maximum healths. Nice and rested. Your exhaustion from going up, surviving in, and then coming down the mountain is now also gone.
Hey.
So you are back to normal, though battered and bruised, and still not in a good way.
Very bruised, very bruised.
So, do you want to take the road or just cross country it straight to the hideout?
Just cross country it through to the hideout.
Okay, that will slow your progress quite a bit. Since
Why
there's
would the road be faster?
well, traveling on a road is like double the speed of traveling through like woods
We'll,
or
we'll
any-
travel on the road then. We'll just take the fastest available route.
which would
Fastest
pretty much be
road.
like going down past the mine onto the road, going along the road a bit, and then going up. Well, if you went this way, it looks shorter,
But
but
have
you
to go
can
over
travel
hills
you
and
can travel half the distance you could on the road. So you'd maybe get like 12 miles a day,
All right, okay.
maybe like
Yeah, we'll take
15 at the most.
we'll take the road then.
So that would be like 1 day, 2 days, maybe 2 days if you really pushed it, 3 if you didn't want to push it.
Okay.
So, how close do you want to like get to the tin mine as you go to the road?
Maybe within uh not that close. Like maybe half a mile off or something maybe. And just so
Okay.
we can have
Both
we
of
looked
you,
over.
both of you roll some perception as you're dandering your way past the like outskirts of the woods with the tin mine off in the distance.
I see nothing.
Yeah, you just look over, can see the smoke rising, the cliff, the
It's not a
houses
mic.
in the distance.
Hold on, hold on, hold on.
Need to fix that. This is Umar's thing. I'm like trying to work out his sheet.
Perception. Why am I so blind?
How does this work?
Oh. Well, I rolled 2 8, so that is. Wait, Andrew, a slight
Oh.
issue here.
I'll fix it.
I cannot deselect this. Whoa! Disadvantage. Oh,
It's
thank
fixed
you.
now.
Yeah. Thought
Yeah,
that
I
looked
was
a bit
messing
off.
with sheets because yours was broken. It wouldn't let me level you up the proper way. I had to do it all manually.
Oh, did we level up last night after killing
No,
one eagle? Didn't
but
we? Oh.
yours was broke from the last two. So I went and fixed it. So I had to delete
Okay.
yours and like remake it, which is why it was weird. But so you can't really like you're still tired after your endeavor, but in the distance you just see the houses that they're they're not really houses anymore. There's just like a couple burnt sticks with smoke just rising out of these smoldering buildings on the edge of the cliff. And you see around the Tin Man what looks to be mounds of hides and furs as the smoke rises.
Hmm. Interesting.
As you're beginning to like walk down towards the road away from the tin mine, you can feel that behind you, Umar has stopped and is looking in the direction of the tin mine.
Omar? What is it?
We did nothing. We let innocent people die to those savage beasts. This isn't right.
We would have went in there. We might have joined them.
Then go back to the hideout. I can't leave these people like this.
They all might be dead. You
I'll
could be
go
walking
find
into an
out.
ambush.
I will not let you go alone.
Don't throw
I
away your
still
life
have
so
a
hastily.
shred of honor in my body. And these innocents, they didn't die for nothing.
Pride. Oh no, it's not pride.
It's honor.
Oh, yeah.
Honor can still get you killed.
I care not for my life.
I'm not arguing anymore. Saw them. It's one less person shooting a goal.
He just
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
unslings his shield, takes out his scimitar, and starts walking up the hill that direction. You can tell
Money for me?
this is a man that is probably not gonna back down when he's following his core ideals and beliefs. He's gonna go up there and he's gonna die, or he is going to come back with his mission complete. Before he walked off, you see a look of guilt on his face that no one stepped up to go help them during the night with the screams.
Like,
He is a brutal man, but a brutal man that still has some shred of honor left.
yeah.
Draw both short swords. Let's go, Kark.
These people did nothing for me.
And as he hears that, he turns around, gives you a hard stare. Don't you want to clear your name? If you're the savior of the village, do you think they'll hang you? If there's anyone still alive,
I
And
had no plans to return to there, but I'm not going back alone.
Enough talk. The more time I waste, the more innocent blood is spilt. Come
I
on.
can't bring back 2 heads, I'm not getting as much money.
he sneaks his way up, still a bit ahead of you, and crouches in behind like a cluster of rocks, not far from where these kind of hide-skinned looking mounds are. Crouches in behind the rock, waiting for you.
Crouch up them. What do you see?
It's not what I see. It's what I can tell
That's what you.
from my many years I've spent in combat. The people, they're not done yet. They hold the advantageous high ground with a narrow path up, and they hold the mine. If anything, they're held up inside with what supplies they can.
The lizardmen will probably try to scale the sides of the cliff. It's only a matter of time before they start to flank them.
He's waiting for orders. He's give his input of where they are.
We should
Look,
push in.
we
should
Looking
push
at
in.
him.
Yeah.
looking at him like in better light, you can see that he's quite a bit older than both of you and has seen a lot more of life than either of you have. He is not wise, but just well traveled.
We should push into the town, push up through the buildings, get a scope of what's happening at the bottom of the cliff.
Now that you're closer, roll some perception.
Oh dear.
Why you gotta fuck me, game? Why you gotta fuck me?
I also rolled really bad on his.
Oh.
Okay.
What am I? How did I see?
So, as you're crouched behind this rock, looking up, Carrick manages to spot that these aren't just random mounds of like furs or skins. These are makeshift tents that have been set up, and you
Oh,
could
it's a
assume
siege.
it's a war camp. There's quite a few tents, maybe enough for, you would guess, judging by the size of the creatures you'd seen before, that there could be about, well, they could have arrived with supplies for about 30 or so.
Oh.
And you can
damn.
see small groups of them milling about through the burnt buildings from these tents. And some of them up at the top of the pathway to the tin mine.
Actually, at the top.
At the top of the path, but you can't actually see the mine itself or any of the buildings from your angle.
So
Really.
what? We're talking 30 plus hostiles here.
You can tell that's what they would have started with. If that's how many they still currently have, is a different story.
We killed all the guards in this town. I am not expecting.
Now
to be the
remember,
numbers
McCoy,
we-
that was 2 weeks ago.
Was it really 2 weeks? Oh, it was 2 weeks.
Yeah,
ago.
because you spent so much time going up into the mountain and then back down again. So that was about 2 weeks ago.
And then we
hope
bumped
it's
into
still okay.
the lizard people after that and wiped them out. So then they had to regroup. So what a
Yeah,
good
but we just
time,
don't know how many. Well, we know roughly how many they brought. But
right? Spread out,
stealth is paramount here, gentlemen.
spread out. Take as many of them down as we can quietly, and then let's start butchering these cunts.
Interesting. So, as you start trying to creep your way up, roll some stealth.
One second before we, Carrick, do what you do best and sneak over to them tents over there and start putting them on fire. At least if we lose, we'll destroy their equipment. They won't be able to stay here for much longer.
You know, I can't resist a good fire.
That is indeed true. You
Would
cannot.
I be any cover between me and these massive tents?
There's
And
not a lot
A
of
lot.
cover.
okay, this is many buddies walking around near it, outside it, in it.
Trying to look through the tents and the like burnt houses, you could guess there maybe, from what you've seen, is about 10 or so. There could be more, there could be less, but it's hard to really get a good look at it.
Okay.
So, roll some stealths as you all begin to try and creep up.
Yeah. Where go shit? Oh no, 23.
Nice, nice.
Don't fuck me.
Also
Decent.
nice. Okay, everybody rolled really good on their stealth, so you're sneaking your way up, like really sneaky, really skilled, hardly making a noise, and you can, like, the smell of smoke is just filling your nostrils, and it's just itching at your nose, burning your nose. And no, you don't sneeze. You fight off the urge to sneeze. But as you're getting up closer, there is like a small group of 3 of these like little lizard people that seem to be on a patrol back and forth that are coming round your direction, but they haven't seen you just yet.
Take cover.
Everyone ducks for cover as best you
Yes.
can where you are, which means like trying to dive in behind some of the grass, maybe jumping for a little rock that might cover you a bit. And what do you want to do? The patrol is heading your direction. They're about maybe 100 feet or so in front of you at the edge of the encampment.
They're heading
Yes.
towards us.
They're like gonna like come your direction, and if they're doing the route you think, they would pass in front of you and continue on round and then come back again.
Try to hide until they've just passed us.
Okay, so
We should
roll.
just try to ambush them.
Yes, roll a stealth against their perception to stay as hidden as best you can.
No!
Oh,
I didn't even need to roll.
The
will
rocks!
you
The
will need
rocks!
to roll still.
Oh my
Oh,
word!
damn.
I am literally invisible. No
Well,
man.
Okay,
can
so
see me.
like
I
as
can
you've
follow.
all been like sneaking up, and you dive down for cover, Carrick looks over Beric's direction and sees that the only cover that was near you is like this like little tuft of grass that you tried to jump in behind, but it's not that good. And you're quite close, so before they come around and really get a good look, reaches over, grabs you, and starts yanking you in towards him behind some rocks for better cover. It was a group stealth, and you just just perfectly offset each other, which means it was Umar's stealth roll that was going to determine what happened. And he beat their perception.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, boy.
these little lizard creatures are.
At least that's the first one out of the way.
So as they're getting closer, coming your direction gradually, they then start turning with the edge of the camp, and they're now about 50 feet in front of you, but heading like from right to left.
They're not gonna go away, are they?
Well, they're still walking. You don't really know where they're really going just yet.
I mean, there's 4 in there.
There are 4, yeah.
How many of us have ranged weapons?
You have a bow.
Yes.
Well, you've got your short bow. Your long bow, you don't know if it would survive a shot or not in its condition. And then Umar has some javelins.
Okay. I think we should wait and see what happens. Where they go. They move off or just stay there.
Are they? Whereabouts are they?
They're
towards
about
now?
50 feet in front of you.
Like still coming towards us, or moving away
Walking
from us?
like by, like if you're looking straight at them, they're going from left to right past you.
Wait until they have sort of passed us on the right, and then start maybe to walk back upwards with their backs towards us, and then we'll push up behind them.
Okay, so they'd like just crossed over the path, heading your direction, turned, and then they're now starting to show you their backs to you as they start heading towards the edge of the mountain.
Forward, quietly.
Gonna sneak up on them?
Yeah.
Okay. Attempt to sneak. Yet again.
Stealthy boy!
Okay.
Yeet yeet.
That's one stealthy boy. That's two stealthy boys. And three stealthy boys. So it's pretty easy to sneak up on these guys. They haven't really been expecting anything. So you're like pretty much right up on top of them as they're walking away. What do you want to do?
Just each of us take one and fucking stealth attack them.
Okay. So there are four, so there's one too many.
Yeah, I'm assuming if I use action surge, it won't let me switch targets.
Well, you can switch
If
as many
I-
targets as you want.
Oh, so if I use action surge, can I? If I kill one, can I kill the next one? If I obviously
Well, you
roll
can
enough
do that
damage.
with like your main hand and offhand as well.
Oh,
so-
okay.
So,
Right. Well,
who is going to make the first attack roll?
let Macaulay go or Carrot go first.
Okay. So,
Take him down.
make your roll.
You just using your sword, or you like just gonna like pop
Or are you going
shot
to
'em?
shoot him?
Remember, your bow is kind of dodge.
Well, the longbow is dodge, the short bow is not.
It's
I could
kinda-
go simple with Hunter's Mark, which would be
Yes, but then they know, they
advantage.
And
No.
remember, you can only use your spells twice a day, so you can use Hunter's Mark twice.
Can I use action surge twice?
You can use it once. It's because Macaw's is a spell,
Okay.
yours isn't.
Wait.
Wizardry. Let's use the owl short sword.
Okay, so make your attack. This will be with advantage because they don't know you're there.
Short. No, not bow. Short sword.
Okay, you
Ooh.
do score a hit on the first one. So now I roll damage. And your sneak
Another
attack damage.
3. What the hell's D6? Oh, nope. It's
So-
respectable.
You come up behind this first little tiny lizard creature with some ragged hides on it. And are you going for like a stab, a cut, a slice the throat, or what way are
Slice the
you?
throat and then dagger attack the other one.
Okay, so you come up, sneak up behind him, just grab onto its snout and just rip its throat out with your blade.
Business.
And then you're going to
We'll
Attempt
go
to
for another one.
throw a dagger or continue stepping up to the next one. If you try and step up to him, you'll have to roll stealth again. Because you just slit the throat of one, and that might cause noise. That he will
Here we
hear.
go.
Okay,
Oh,
He
that's
doesn't-
advantage.
but we'll take the first roll because just ignore the second one, that's an 8. But you just silently kill this first one.
Oh,
And
Yeah,
then
it's still 6 damage.
no, it's not. That's
that
the
was
hit,
the
that's
stealth, and
one.
that was to attack him. You had to
Oh,
sneak
you
up
have,
on him
you
again
have
first.
to roll stealth for it. What?
It's because you killed one and then wanted to keep moving up on another one after killing one, so you had to like set the body down quietly and not alert him, which you didn't. But then you were so focusing and like, damn, I'm so fucking quiet. When you went to try and kill him, you fucked it up. And
Yeah.
just didn't even get
That's
close.
what I thought I had to do, but I thought you said I only had to roll stealth,
I'm
and then I was
assuming-
confused.
Can me and Umbar still do our stuff?
Yes, you can still
before-
do yours before these guys know what's going on.
Yeah.
Good luck, sir.
Get Umbar to do his first.
Okay, so he comes up with his scimitar
Scimitar.
behind the one he was creeping up on. And he definitely catches it. It was a not as good a hit as a Carrick's, but it does get him. And he came up with a scimitar, and since it's like a one-edged blade, he just comes up behind it and goes for a hack into the back of the neck, digging in deep to its spinal cord, like from its shoulders up to the back of the skull, and just cuts in deep and just holds the body there, trying not to let it drop as best he can. It is now Beric. He doesn't. Umber just doesn't try and do anything else. He just holds there.
Alright, well, I shall try to kill the one that's in front of me.
Go for it. So you've snuck up. Were you stabbing, slashing, slitting its throat?
Stabbing, just like straight through
Okay, so you puncture.
death and then like covering its mouth. So
You just like sneak up, spear your sword straight through where its heart would be, and reach around grabbing its snout before it can attempt to scream out as it dies in your hands. You
nice.
still have your offhand attack to attempt to. Get the fourth
I'll
one.
try to kill the fourth one.
Are you gonna try and step up to it, or throw a dagger or your short sword?
I will try to stealth up to him.
Roll a stealth.
Ooh.
Oh, indeed. Oh, okay. So as the one character was getting stabbed, put down silently, Umbar hacks into his and holds it up as best he can, and then you spear yours and start take the steps up. This first one walking along is just like, hold on a minute, I don't hear very many footsteps around here. Turns around and just sees you all as you're
Wait a minute.
trying to attack him. He rolled a 20, so he perfectly counters your stealth and Umbar's stealth, which wasn't that good, and the stealth of 12. He hears the footsteps of his allies stop and the heavier footsteps of you guys creeping up on him.
Cut his head off with my offhand.
Make the swing. And roll the damage.
Oh my.
And he is dead. The head just comes off and goes tumbling across the ground. It didn't even get to let out like a peep or a squeak or anything. It was just fucking dead.
Booyah.
So, now what you want to do? You're on the edge of camp. You've clearly taken out this first patrol.
Is there like a wee ditch or anything like
It's
closer?
pretty much just completely flat, but you could try and dump the body behind some rocks if that's what you want to do.
Nah, fuck it. Don't want to waste time. Keep moving.
I guess so you start pushing in through the tents.
Yep.
Okay. So, as you're creeping in through the tents, you can see a couple more like smaller patrols, like one or two just milling about, walking through the tents, maybe gathering supplies, eating food, just doing like different kinds of stuff in the camp, getting ready for the siege. I am in the process of drawing out a small little map of the town because
Nice.
combat will most likely happen here. It's a very, very rough little map, but you know, maps are nice. Okay. I will bring you over to not
Sorry, the
it-
group chat.
it's quite a big map, so you'll need to zoom out. Oh, fuck, I just threw a box over you.
There you go.
So you're in the
Control
bottom.
yourself.
So you're in the bottom left corner as little tiny people. You'll need to zoom out quite
I'm
far
sorry,
for
that
this
was so
one.
funny.
Yeah, see it.
Okay. Need to add in Umar as well.
Holy shit, this is
Yes, this is a village, but imagine it spreads out more to either side. I just can't be fucked making a bigger map.
yeah, okay. Where are the tents of this?
The tents are the circles.
Oh shit, that's a lot
Hello.
of tents.
I love Macaulay's robot voice.
Yeah, that was amazing. Just imagine though that there's more tents out to the left and right. I'm just too lazy to make that many.
Ah, it's okay. It's okay.
I'm looking for the thing I used for Umar. Here we go. Here he is.
Uh-huh.
You
Stabby
sh-
boy.
You just shrink him down a bit. There we go.
23 health. I think not, game.
Oh, that's like your old health.
34.
23 is what I have.
Yeah, yours is
Yeah,
actually right
sure.
for some reason.
It's your fucking scrub.
Yeah, well, I'm at range, so doesn't really matter.
Yeah, totally. Totally.
So, as you're sneaking through, I'll put some some red blood down there to show you killed some people. Right here somewhere. The dead as fuck. So, how do you want to proceed? There are. I'll start adding in like enemies as you see them.
Yeah.
So when you're sneaking in, you can see that there's a couple. I don't know if these are zoomed out far enough to really
Yeah, I can see them.
see, but there are a couple in that direction.
This is gonna be a lot of fires.
One
Hell.
there. And from
Just
what you
hold
can
on.
see. So from what you've seen so far, you can see like just those ones right now.
Okay.
So how do you want to proceed?
Well, we'll all push up
Actually,
behind
roll
this.
initiative so that we can do this in a more orderly manner. So that if you spot any patrols or anything, then the patrols will have their turn to move. Oh, 22, 10.
I'm off to a good start tonight. It's just waiting for. Well, I have rolled a 1 to attack, but it's been good. Like, hopefully this momentum will last, but it probably
Ooh.
won't.
Okay, so I have the initiative order. We're going Carrick, the lizard people,
They must have rolled high.
Barrick, and then Umar, who rolled very bad.
Okay.
Oh, and then after that would be any surviving townsfolk because they rolled even worse.
Lol.
Nice.
They rolled a what?
Okay.
Difficult. Damn
I like-
humans. So all the squares up the top, like the squares and rectangles, those are the ruined buildings. There's smoking heaps of ash. There's like maybe a
Nice.
wall or two, a post or so, like still intact in some areas, but it's not really a lot. So, we have Carrick first. So what are you going to do?
Carrick,
Wait,
bring him down.
oh god, that's ambitious. 216 feet. Can I do that with a short bow?
With disadvantage, you can try.
Oh, that's risky. Can
Oh,
he even
is this actually the distance? Yeah.
Let me see.
140? Oh my. Holy shit nuggets.
About that. Well, maybe not. Yeah, that's about the distance, because you take up a 5 foot by 5 foot square yourself. So,
So I can only move 30. This is gonna be. What if I can just make it to the tent?
you know, this is like going 6 seconds at a time.
True.
We'll make it like double turns, so you can move 30 or move 60, sprint 120, just to like speed it up a bit.
Once we get into actual combat,
Then it'll slow down.
but in this stealthy stage, it's
Now remember, if you
My
can't
guess
draw an
is-
arrow to it from your person, you cannot see it where it is at the minute. This is like the last known location of these guys when you saw them on your way in. So when you were like further down this direction, you would have been able to see up. You spotted him, you spotted them, and then sneaking after these guys you killed, you saw that one up there.
Arrow.
But from where you are now, you can't like say see through that big circle.
I
So
don't
you
want
don't
to say I want
know.
to come out to like here and like I want to just be like there.
Just like at the side of the building and take a shot up.
Oh, well, that's a disadvantage, is it not, at that range?
It is, yes.
High risk.
But
Do
high
I see?
reward.
Do I see anyone else when I have peeked?
Roll perception. Peeking around the corner.
Oh my god.
Okay,
What?
so looking around the corner, you see that that one up there at the building isn't the only one. There is. Get off the fucking thing. There's an
Okay,
archer.
that's-
Archer up here. And
yeah, I would notice.
if from there, that's all you can really see. There is a light coming from the inside of that tent, so there could be more inside.
interesting.
I'll just stay where I am. I'll end my turn.
Okay, so
Not
you're
gonna- not gonna
holding
fire.
fire.
Holding forward, just keep an eye out. See what the other two do.
So there is
There's a
some.
signal that I have got two in front of me.
So it's like
far
hold
away.
your hand up with doing it to
Yes,
your
they're
fingers.
far away.
But so you can hear footsteps and stuff. So there definitely is movement
Or
and
Craig
more
Lapp.
patrols going around this area. I don't. Let me see if any of them really come into view of the party. So Umar does spot a group patrolling just inside, heading your direction. It seems to be only two though, coming this way.
Yay.
And that is their turn. It is now Beric.
I'm just gonna move up to here. And then I'm gonna roll could I cut into this tent?
You could try to. From the outside, it's hard to tell how thick it is, but it's just like hides and skins that are making up the tent cover.
Yeah, yeah, we'll move up to here. And then I shall try to cut a slit into the hides.
Just roll an attack with your weapon, and if it's high enough, it'll have worked. Okay, so you've cut into it, but you haven't cut straight through with a slit. It would just like slid your blade along and not a full on like strike batting at it, but you're sliding it along, trying to slice through. You've cut a deep like groove into it, and it looks like you're almost through in that part, but not quite.
Can I use the rest of my turn to like use my dagger? Because it would
And
probably be
Just
easier.
wedge it through as well and try and pry it
Yeah.
open. Do another attack with the dagger. Okay, so now that it's already weakened up, forced your dagger in through and slit open the rest of that already sliced portion. And you're gonna peek your head in, or just peek through.
Yep.
So, looking in, you see that there are two sleeping lizard people.
Oh,
Nice.
So they're just sleeping inside on just all their furs and skins.
Uh, could I enter this turn?
You could, yeah, if you want, but you wouldn't be able to attack
Do
anybody.
anything? I'll actually just stand outside, and I shall sort of point to Umar and be like, two. It's like sleep.
I'm gonna draw so many lines where entrances are to these things.
Are the entrances like covered in like? Do they have like a sheet
The
down in front of
ones
them?
you've seen, they're just open.
ooh.
Okay. This could be interesting.
So when you looked through, you saw like straight out towards those other two guys that are sitting in that bit between the tents. They're still there. Umar follows your lead and sneaks up behind where everybody else also is. And we're back to Carrick. What do you want to do next? So far, you know the exact location of these ones, and these ones. You can no longer see anybody over on this side. So what will you attempt to do?
One wee second here. While I... No line of sight. No line of sight. Alright. I am gonna switch places.
Okay,
I can get about here.
so you're
I
gonna
wanna
go around the other side.
I'm gonna go around the other side now. They're far away. I'll let them two decide if they want to enter or not, and if they do, covering fire. This is about as far there as I want to go, really.
So you're peeking around that corner.
Just an eye.
Patrol coming on your right.
do a perception.
Jeez, I don't
Okay,
know how
so-
I roll. When the
You see that there is one, from what you can tell, in this tent up here,
frick were...
and you don't really see any other ones from your point of view.
I'll get my bow ready, my short bow, not the long
Okay.
one. But I'm not gonna take a shot at it. Well, actually, oh god.
Your effective range is up to 80, so this far. And then beyond that, up to 320 is disadvantage.
I don't know how many's in this one. There was only one.
From what you can see, it's only one.
Oh.
Can send it.
I'm gonna lick the stamp, Andrew.
You're gonna shoot at that one you spotted in the tent?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's probably not enough.
It'd be close.
Close. But he'll notice now.
So your arrow flies across. From this distance, it's hard to really see if you hit the lying down target or not.
Oh, he's lying down? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
he's sleeping
Oh,
in
okay.
there. Though there is no movement.
Didn't notice.
Well, that's good.
I hope.
Anything else you'd like to do?
Just keep an eye out. Probably knock another arrow, but I'm not gonna. I can't shoot. I'm not gonna move anymore.
Okay.
It's up to these boys what they want to do next. I will cover if need be.
Yes. Next is the lizard people themselves. So,
Does he get out of his tent?
no, he's asleep, and he
But I
is.
thought I would have been close enough to like the arrow whiz past like his ear or something. Like, well,
Well, he just didn't roll well on his,
he's just
roll.
a snore. That's what it is. He's
Could
a
be.
snore.
Hard to tell. Just working out in the invisible dungeon master lair that neither of you can see where stuff's gonna be. So when shit does break down and stuff eventually happens, I will be ready.
Is it my turn or?
Well,
No
your
question.
turn's over. I'm just working out where they all are so I know what to do next.
Okay.
Because there's quite a lot. Quite a lot.
It'll be a bit less by the time we're finished.
We will see how things go.
We shall massacre them all.
Okay. So, this group is out of your line of sight right
Yeah.
Oh dear.
as is the guy you saw up here.
And the other two guys at the tent up there.
Yeah, neither of you are really looking that direction. So, your line of sight has been reduced. Can you see if I do this arrow? Oh, you can't. I can hide my arrows. Yes. I could be a sneaky sneak. Oh, yes. Okay.
What's the effective range of the longbow?
The longbow?
Yeah.
It, I think, might be 120.
Yeah, sounds about right.
150 and then up to 600 at disadvantage.
Damn.
But remember, yours that you have is pretty beat up. It was
Frail.
frozen, so it's hard to tell if it would actually really work or not. Though you do see a group up here coming down the road of three. One wearing some resemblance of armor, the other two just wearing lighter garments.
Hmm.
It is now Barrick's turn.
I'm going to try to enter the tent stealthily.
Roll,
Uh,
roll stealth for that. Okay. Oh, so it seems as though they have both stayed asleep. Neither has woke up.
Nice. Well, I'm just going to position myself over the top of this guy and cut his throat while he sleeps.
Okay. Make your attack with advantage since he is asleep and not aware of your current location. And
Oh my. Well, rip that man.
roll your damage.
Oh!
Now roll your sneak attack, but it's 2d6 because it's a crit.
Is that really necessary at this point?
Overkill, Collie.
Okay, so that was 21 points of damage to a creature that has 6 health. So, yeah, it's dead. It is so
Outright
fucky
dead.
dead.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Damn.
It's just obliterated the poor thing. I kind of feel bad for it.
And then I'm just
You
going
literally
to...
ripped his testicles off and And
Get
then
up,
his throat.
move up, position myself at the side of this door, and hopefully Umar will not feel me and kill the other guy.
Okay, so as you go in and kill this first poor little creature here, Umar sneaks in after you. He rolls a stealth. The one, like I'm using their perception they rolled to try and spot you while they sleep, which was a disadvantage, but one actually did roll quite well. The other one that you killed rolled a 1. But the one that you didn't kill, it kind of starts to stir, wakes up, and its eyes look round as Umar's scimitar just comes sweeping in for a slash to it. So he also rolls a crit on his first roll, not even using the advantage. Fuck me. And that is, it is also dead. Its throat gets torn out by the blade, and it just lies there on the ground going, as blood just starts squirting out of its neck over the furs and skins on the floor. And then he also sneaks up to the edge of the building.
Good man. 1 down, 7 more to do.
It is now
Obviously.
Carrick's turn. Actually, let me see. Are you trying to like look around this bit here?
Well, yeah, probably me and Umar kind of like, trying to peek out, trying to see what we can see.
So you would be able to see. Give me the thingy. You can see one over there. You can see the first two, like in between those buildings. The one Macaulay is aiming at right now. You can kind of see the ones on patrol coming down the road, but you can't really see anything else from your position. That's about as much as you can see. But what is Carrick doing now?
Damn!
Are you shooting at the one in the tent?
Yeah. Another 11.
So your arrow soars out, and you see some movement as it starts to get up and look around, but it hasn't noticed you yet. It's just been disturbed. So it's awoken from its sleep. Is there anything else you'd like to try and do?
Move back so he can't see me, and that's about it.
Okay. So you just sneakily slink your way back behind the building.
You didn't see me. I'm gonna take a shot, but you know where my arrow came from. Invisible.
Next, we do have all these lizard people.
All the lizardy boys.
Indeed. As the patrols continue moving around this little encampment. The ones that you could see in the road have now vanished out of sight as they continue on down the path where you can no longer see them. And that is, well, there is this one dude who kind of peeks out of the tent and starts looking around, going, like, what the fuck was that? All of you make advantaged stealth, like advantage on stealth, because he doesn't really know what he's looking for, so you're hidden pretty well. Nice, 225s. Oh, and a 19. So everyone like sees this one little guy like kind of sleepily wake up and stumble to the edge of the tent and look out, and you'll hide him behind the edges of the building. And he walks out to engage in conversation with these other two,
Quite interesting.
all talking some strange language you've never really heard before. And it is now Beric. So, what do you want to do?
So, could I run the 60 feet and then still do combat?
Yeah, and then we would engage
Go
into
to
real
there, like-
combat if you did not kill them all. If you somehow managed to kill them all, then we would stay in this sped up version.
Okay. I'm gonna charge the 60 feet and attempt to kill all of these people.
Holy,
Okay. So,
I do hope Umpire's going with you.
well, it's not his turn yet, but he can certainly try. So you just charge out as they're
Oh.
not paying attention. Roll your first attack.
Damn it, I did it with advantage. Apologies.
We'll take the 18, since that's what you would have rolled if you did one. So that is one hit on which one? The closest one?
The left one.
The left one. So you run in, swinging out your blade, and oh, let me see. So as you were running out, you would maybe get like halfway out towards them when you would see this patrol that's heading out this direction. Do you want to continue your run or try and dive off and not do the attack?
No, continue.
Do you want
It
to?
has, it
so,
has to kick
that's-
off eventually.
So that's as you look forward straight out. Now, as you glance off to your left, you also saw that patrol. Do you want to look in that building to the right as you're also taking the run out?
Nah, I think I'll probably be
Just-
more focused on the combat at this point.
You're just gonna keep going into the battle?
Yeah.
Okay.
As I ran out, I probably glanced to the right and then seen them ones in front. But
So
wouldn't
that
have time
first
to
one
look.
is dropped. Can I attempt to get the next one? That is also a hit. Oh, you do not take that one down though. You slash across his chest before it gets a shield off its back. But it's still standing.
Can I re-roll damage?
On the one?
What can I use my inspiration things?
That's rolling the d20s.
Oh, just the d20.
So like if you
Okay.
missed, you could use the
Yeah,
inspiration. Oh yes, McCall, you
Uh,
have inspiration from all the mountain stuff.
Well,
really?
I'm gonna use action
So,
surge
You
anyway.
you can re-roll any d20 dice you roll. So when you get a really
Really?
bad one, you can re-roll it.
Okay.
Gonna use action surge anyway. So
Okay, that's your one use of it until you take
Oh,
a
shit's
short
about to
rest.
get hot.
So you
Yeah.
have your next attacks you can attempt.
that is a miss.
Oh.
unfortunately.
Were you trying to push through and attack the next one or attack the same one?
No, I'm attacking the same one.
So as you swung from him, he got his shield up, blocked it, and then your offhand comes in again, and managed to skewer him right through as he's already got his shield out of the way.
Wait a minute. Think of it. You're not wielding new sword? No?
No,
No,
Okay.
it's too heavy to dual wield.
not proficient in that yet.
Um,
And that one drops down to the ground.
Alright, let's see what Umbar can do. I'm assuming he would probably charge behind me.
He would try. So
I throw a
he
javelin.
comes running out. And this is like the surprise round you would have got, and then combat will actually begin. So he runs out as you've cut down those guys. He just like ducks under your swing to try and get to this furthest away one. He swings out with the scimitar. He gets a hit, but the blade does not finish it off. It just kind of slashes across its chest, not killing it just yet. But we're now into full combat, and Carrick will start off our true initiative round. Moving 30 feet, running 60 feet. So, what do you want to do? Combat has been started.
I don't even have line of sight on that twat.
No.
You could move a bit and then shoot at him.
This guy dead?
No.
No, he's injured, not dead.
Yeah, that's a bit dicey. 2 targets in a way. I think this turn I'm just gonna have to dedicate it to movement because I can't actually hit anyone. So we'll go. We'll go roughly there.
You can sprint and it would give you another 30 feet.
No, Andre, I was here.
Oh, okay.
So I'm being honest here. That is about. It's 57.
Got
I'm moving
3 more
teeny-
feet.
A teeny bit more.
Okay.
There you
Anything
go.
else you want to shout out or say as shit starts happening?
Well, just let me check. Oh, that's not allowed. No, that's through a.
You've already done the sprint. If you sprint,
that's
you can't
true,
go
right.
back.
I got you covered in the right.
Okay.
Come on, you little fucks!
So this one that's out in front of Umar that's got slashes, lets out a squeal as it's been slashed across the
Gentlemen,
chest
I
of Pian.
require chocolate. I will return.
Like a lava.
The heavier armored ones you can see just ahead on patrol. It just takes off at a full sprint your direction. This is one of the larger ones, similar to the one you tried to negotiate
Yeah.
with. And it just rushes off your direction along with the smaller one.
I'm
just
assuming
behind.
it's not the same one, or could I even tell?
From where you are, there's no way to really tell. At the minute, anyway. So this one, which you can
He's
see as a
really gonna take
bow,
shot.
rushes off to the side. He might try to take a shot. I'm just moving them off first.
Roll a one, roll a one, roll a one, roll a one, roll a one.
More heavily armored ones rushing your direction. These two like heavier armored ones let out some sort of scream or battle cry. Yeah, but it's not like a super loud, but it's gonna pass between the different warriors as they prepare for battle. As they come into view, I will reveal them. So there would be the one in this tent. You don't really know he's there yet, but you could hear him moving about. And there's the two in the tent below you.
Ah,
So far, those are the ones you can see. They can't move yet because they're just getting up. Everyone else is kind of just gathering their equipment, stealing themselves, and then they will prepare for the battle.
nice.
So, actually, I'm gonna move this sweet guy back because he's an archer, and I've got my map so zoomed out. I did not know he was an archer. Okay. So, 2 arrows fly in. One from in front of you, towards
Okay.
Umar, and one from you to your right, in your direction. The one aimed at Umar hits, just
Fuck, he is so unlucky.
getting a 16 against his 15 armor. The one aimed at you is a 19 against your 16.
What a bitch.
Yes, they are
I don't know.
little shits. So
What's
Umar, oh,
Is that not like disadvantage?
that was with the disadvantage.
Mother of God. That got a 19 with disadvantage.
He rolled a crit in his first roll, and then he rolled a 17 plus 2.
Fucking hell.
This one got a 19 natural, and then 14 natural with plus 2.
What
They've
a
been
waste.
lucky so far. Umar does take quite a lot of damage. You take... Oh, I rolled a 1. You take 3 damage.
It's like a...
Umar definitely got hit a lot harder than you did, though. I just see him kind of rock back a bit with the blow. None of the other ones can do anything yet, so it is your turn.
Okay. I'm gonna... charge this big guy.
Oh,
Meet him in the melee. Look at my sword!
roll your damage. It's a lot of crits so far. Oh, damn. So you start hacking into him with your main hand on the long sword, cutting in deep where a patch of his armor is just missing. But he's still standing strong.
Hit him with the other sword!
So as you like dug in, cut into him, and swing out with your next blade, he's got like some sort of mace axe looking thing in one hand and a shield in the other. He just swings his shield around and bats the sword out of your hand onto the ground, 5 feet to your left.
5 feet to my left.
Yep, so up this way.
Uh,
But not far, like you could move around and try and pick it back up.
Okay.
Anything else you'd like to attempt to do?
Pawn the milk.
Nope.
Okay, so Umar,
Oh dear.
Umar,
Oh,
yeah, things are getting ugly.
this is a bit of a sticky wicket, this here.
Umar swings around with his scimitar. Definitely getting another hit. And easily finishing off the one in front of him, slashing down from its shoulder into its stomach, and you see just
Oh
a
dear,
line of
somebody
blood
rolled a
straight
1.
across it.
And it wasn't me.
And it drops to the ground dead.
You rolled a crit and then a 1 immediately after.
Oh yeah. And Umar, he's finished his off, so
Stay together!
he does his best to get over your direction. Rotate. And he's like he's getting in close to help you with the fight, but also keeping his shield up to try and prepare for any flankers. It is now Carrick's turn.
That's the shot, isn't it, Andrew? No diss.
Yeah, you're close enough.
Oh yeah.
That is a hit.
Fuck that guy.
That guy is yeah.
Ooh.
Your arrow just pierces straight into his chest,
That's
knocking him
max
to the ground.
damage. I have barely rolled a 9. Jibs, we're having a good night on rolls tonight.
Knocking it
Oh.
straight onto the ground.
Don't say anything yet, McCall.
Oh no, but flip was dicey, like max damage. I don't think
Anything
I've
else
I
you'd like
think I've
to
seen a
try and
9
do?
once ever.
Could totally put Hunter's Mark on that other armor guy.
You can only use Hunter's Mark twice a day. If you have it on him and you kill him while it's still up and you've got your bonus action, you can move it to another target.
Will he likely sprint 60 feet to me, or would he move 30? He probably would only move the 30.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's, Oh god, my character sheet has just exploded.
Yeah, it's because I'm looking at Hunter's Mark.
Okay.
So it lasts an hour, and if you kill the person that like you're shooting at, you can then use a bonus action to switch it to a new creature.
Ooh.
So you could put it on, say,
Ooh.
big guy here, and then if he dies, you can switch it to this one, and then switch it to this one, and just keep switching it, and it lasts that whole hour. But then you can only do
Jeez,
one more
that's-
spell, which would be one more Hunter's Mark.
That's the only one I know. Let us do that then,
Okay,
Armored Boy.
so you're marking this big guy.
Yeah, that would.
Okay,
That would
so
work.
actually I'll put the skull and crossbones on him. It's more fun.
Oh yeah, by the way, Umar got hit by an arrow pretty bad.
They both got hit by an arrow, but Umar was hurt more.
Well, one of them's dead. We don't have to worry about the second one.
So you've moved and done everything you want?
Yep.
It is
Yeah, I
now.
don't think I can do any more.
It is now the lizard people.
Oh, they're
Is
not. gonna
Umar
like me.
standing on my sword, by the way?
He's standing roughly where your sword is.
Let's see. 6 feet. 50 feet. But he'd have to go that way and then that way. Oh, that he would sprint to me.
I'm swarming!
They are swarming indeed.
Kill them! Kill them all!
They are
shot
swarm
those
creatures.
Leave none alive!
From the other side of the camp, you this time actually do hear a horn. But it's not just a single blow of a horn, it's a series of different lengths of blows to the horn.
We're
And-
made it!
And you can see them all like lift their heads up, looking at direction for a split second, and then the group near you continue to like stay close to you.
Something interesting might be happening.
And the one you could see far off at that other tent has disappeared.
I accept your surrender.
From life.
And I need to move some of them. Ba-ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Perhaps we should start with the big one. I'm getting these quotes now from like Avengers, Pirates of the Caribbean now. This is really.
Just use
I've
it.
got issues.
Just use it in the TNT. Just use...
Okay, so
They only count as one.
The
as
best one
the
was Davy Jones.
as the
There
battle
are no survive.
as the battle rages on, the quite large armored one that's engaged with Beric right now
Oh, great.
swings forth with its weird axe mace thing, trying to slam it into you. And it
Hits.
barely misses you.
Oh, thank God.
The second one that is charged into Umar swings at him. It
Oh,
does hit though. Actually, the one that
Yeah,
tried to
that's
hit
one.
you needs to roll
Yes, but-
disadvantage because Umar is there and he has an ability now. But it wouldn't have missed any worse than it already did. But
Mm.
Umar does take a blow.
No.
Not good.
Oh, not a lot of damage, but he is hurting.
Woody.
It kind of like hits through, like hits his shield, and his shield like bangs off his head, dealing him
Oh, that's not terrible.
not a ton of damage, but it hurt.
Yeah.
A little sneaky archer.
This tramp's gonna shoot me, isn't it?
Oh yeah, he does. He's trying to shoot through the crowd, which does give you cover, but yeah, he misses. He
Yes.
He's
Fuck
trying
you,
to
Arthur.
shoot through to try and get you, but he's trying to also not hit his two allies in the way and kind of just pings it off one of the armored one's shoulders. But he doesn't take any damage because it wouldn't have hit him either. It is now
My
Beric.
turn.
Yes.
Uh,
Shit.
to lift up my sword again, but I have to lose.
You would need to use your bonus action, I would say, because it's your off.
Fuck that! Hit him with the sword.
So you swing forth with the big one, get a hit. You do 7 damage. You stab into him, getting through his armor, but he's
Right
still
into it.
barely standing.
And then draw the dagger and stab him in the fucking head.
Oh,
Oh!
that is a hit.
Oh!
So you rammed your sword up into his guts, and it kind of hunches over as it takes the blow. And then your dagger just comes down straight onto its head, piercing straight through its like shitty little like leather cap thing it was wearing. It just cracks in through the skull, dropping it to the ground. Dead.
Is this all you have? Is this all you?
Oh, bold words, bold words.
You had to ask.
So,
And then I shall reconsolidate. Well, actually, no, I'll stay here. Cause
okay.
I'll just kind of.
Let's-
If I could rotate my character, I would rotate him towards the two people coming out of that tent.
I mean this way?
No.
Or the other
what is it?
tent?
No, like here.
Yeah, that's where you're looking for me.
Just
Well, like, you're roughly looking that way. But, yes. So, Umar, facing down with this large, armored, lizard-like creature opponent, swings out with his scimitar. Oh, he gets a hit. He doesn't do much damage. He, like, slams the blade of the scimitar into the armor. It looks like some sort of chain, but not very high quality, and he slides it across, probably bruising the skin, maybe breaking a couple ribs, or cracking a couple ribs, but nothing really that's gonna hurt it that bad. He's in trying to keep his shield up and shift around it to almost get like back to back with Beric as the creatures close in. It is Carrick's turn now. So what do you want to do?
Well, I have a bit of a problem here, Andrew, because
Yeah,
my character sheet's fucked up.
let me see. Oh, there you go.
Thank you. Slide to the left. 5 feet.
Okay. Now who are you shooting at?
Hunters.
Hunter's mark, yeah?
Here we go. Oh
That is a
my
hit.
God. Oh!
And you're extra d6.
This is a 6. Ah.
Ah, not quite.
10 damage though. Is respectable.
Yep, your arrow just pierces straight through his armor, slamming into his shoulder, rocking it back a bit. And it looks past Umar and gives you a nasty snarl, baring its
He's
teeth.
still not dead. Flipping.
No, Umar hasn't hit him very hard. That was the first damage it
Sure.
took.
Her champ.
Do you want to move anymore at all? Or are you gonna hold your ground there?
Yeah. What distance we're looking at here?
Shit, that was a nice attack.
I'm gonna hold ground.
Was a
I'm
nice
gonna hold
attack.
ground.
Okay. So, as you've dropped this
So-
big one,
Real close.
shot
to
the other
Jacob.
big one, these two smaller ones scamper out. One straight into combat with Beric, the other one looking like it would be trying to run past to get into combat with Carrick, but it can't get far enough, so it settles with Beric's side.
Your
Oh,
back is turned.
The other small ones start trying to close in.
a swarm! A swarm!
Yep, they are swarm creatures. That is what they do because they're so weak.
Back off, you scaly fucks!
And these other ones, I'm gonna need to move these bodies off to the side here because there's no fucking.
Could just I just move them all over to like in a pile or something so it's easier for you to.
Put them in the fucking tents. So they just start swarming around. The first two smaller ones rushing up towards Barrack with their little shitty weapons and they start flailing at you. Trying their damnedest to attack you and hurt you.
I dare you to get past my breastplate. I fucking
You
dare.
can tell that they're almost working in sync. One like strikes at you or feints at you while the other one comes in for a strike. The first one closer to Carrick, it actually gets a stab in on your side while the first one was flailing at you and just pinging off the breastplate.
You little scaly fuck.
And it deals 3 points of damage to you. They're rolling a lot of ones on their damage.
This is good.
So the first one just like swings forward with a club, bounces it off your breastplate, but while you're kind of trying to not get stabbed by that one, the second one comes in and shanks you in the side.
He stabbed me with his knitting needle. Ah!
Bitch.
Oh, somehow, Umar just, like, the first one comes in to swing at him, he parries its blade, blocks the one with the spear and a shield, and then as the big one comes in for a hit, he tries to go for another block, but breaks through and only does him a couple points of damage.
My God, that man's a tank.
He doesn't have that much health, but he's just taking very little damage so far. Though an arrow does come whizzing in Carrick's direction.
Really? He's gonna shoot through.
Well,
Oh, okay.
he hasn't moved yet,
There's a
so
bit of
really-
hit there. Oh, he
really blocked.
moves. He moves.
he steps
Okay.
to the side, takes a shot. Ah, he misses. It embeds into the leather you've got on your shoulders.
Look at
And you've just got an arrow like coming out of your shoulder, but it didn't actually get to your flesh underneath.
Just give him the middle finger.
Probably doesn't know what it means.
Probably, but it is now Barrick's turn, as you're all surrounded by these swarm of little creatures.
Because I'm pissed, gonna fucking hit this cunt that stabbed me with the sword.
Okay. That is a hit. That
Oh my.
finishes him off.
Die, you little
Puts him to
fuck.
the ground.
And then I'm gonna. Then this guy's using a club, isn't he?
The one in front of you, yeah.
I'm just going to walk right up to him as
Oh
he
my
swings
God.
with the club, just sort of pie it off to the side and stab the blade right in the middle of his fucking skull.
So, you've just decapitated the first one. Just in a nice swift move, just cut his head clean off. Another one glances over at that, gets enraged, tries to swing at you with the club. You just disarm him with your dagger, just twist around the club, chuck it out of his hand, slam it straight through his head, and with the momentum just throw him off your dagger to the ground. That one is just gone.
Just
Just a
Yes,
massive hole in the side of its head.
literally dead as a duck.
And I shall get ready to support Empire.
So Amar is trying to weigh up his options here. You can see him sword out, shield ready. And then he takes a stab for...
What does he go for?
He tries to go for the big one in the middle because it's more of like their leader, it seems. But with the other two on each side, he just can't get his blade through like all their weapons and their shields, just blocking the path. It just pings off his shield. They've got a nice scar in it, but not enough to really hurt anyone. It's now Carrick's turn again.
Big one.
You're gonna try and shoot through and hit the big one.
Not
So
enough.
you tried to shoot through, but the one between you and your target sees what you're trying to do and just raises his shield and catches the arrow, stopping you from shooting the larger one.
Okay.
By the
Anything
way,
else you want to try and do?
Carrick gives zero fucks that there's an archer trying to shoot at him. He's just like, yeah, you could try.
Uh.
You can still move if you want.
We'll leave it. We'll leave in the odds.
Okay. So you take the shot and then you run in to try and assist your comrades.
Is that his bonus action? Is
That would just
No,
be like
no,
the
I-
movement you can get.
oh, so he can still use a dagger.
No.
No, he needed to have used a light weapon. The bow is a
Oh.
two-handed
Bow is
weapon.
close two-handed,
Yeah, unfortunately. But
so I can always shoot and move, basically.
Would you stab someone with the arrow?
I'm not sure what damage that would do.
Yeah, pure legless. I've seen him instant kill people doing that.
Right through the eye socket.
you just need to use your attack probably to do that.
Right into the throat.
But the little gathering of lizard fellows, thought of a club, the little green one, takes a swing for Beric
He
And
can
then-
try.
Hello.
in an attempt to take you down.
You're not serious.
He does get a
Yeah.
hit on you.
My
Uh,
God.
One wee lamb. Fuck, you're seriously.
And does 4 points of damage as he
I'm
beats you
impressed.
across the arm with a club.
I was it the other day. Like,
The
one
larger
lamb
one
there at
Just seems
3
to be
o'clock.
almost in a duel with Umar.
Didn't say
Swings
it
out.
then.
Oh, and he rolls a 1.
Let's get there, everything.
So he
Ah.
tries to take a hack at Umar with his weapon. He just catches it on the shield, pushes
You get
forward,
down?
whacks him in the face, and then starts trying to push the attack as he's disarmed his opponent.
Another lamb.
The
Aye.
spearman at Carrick does roll a crit though, countering the 1 that was rolled before.
Carrick? What?
Yes, you've been critical hit. You take
Aw.
7 points of damage.
Damn
That a
you.
bitch.
Uh,
I think
The
the archer on that
archer.
was a straight ass, really. Unless he's gonna just try to luck sack.
the
He
archer
rolls low, he's
is
hitting his own mate in the
is
back.
gonna run over to the side and try and shoot over his 3-foot tall friend.
That I was gonna say that he's like the enemy, his ally is only 3 foot, so
He's trying to
Okay.
shoot over him to hit Beric this time. And he actually hits 19 plus
Oh.
4.
you little fuck.
He is a little fuck. And he does 5 points of damage as the arrow soars over the head. Like, if he rolled any lower, you probably would have been okay because you've got cover because you're partially concealed. But that's only a plus 5. So you'd be at 21 and he scored a 23 on his hit. So it was an unlikely success rate, but he actually got it.
Little bitch.
So you took the 5 points of damage as the arrow soars over the head and catches you across the arm, slicing onto your across your bicep on your left side, and soaring off out behind you. It is now your turn though.
Okay, I'm gonna bit slap this guy in front of me with my sword.
You get a hit, and he's dead.
And then I'm going to advance forward and throw my dagger at
Oh.
the archer, which misses.
Yes. Okay. So, as you were stepping forward, like you do see the big guy attempt to try and swing out at you, but Umar is there kind of blocking him from trying to really hit you. And since he doesn't have a weapon, he's just trying to like punch you at this point. But it puts off your aim as you throw out the dagger after just brutally murderizing the previous one that you just put down onto the floor. Umar does try to finish off the large armored one as quickly as he can, but even without its weapon, it just brings its shield up in front of it, catches the blade, and deflects it to the side. Seems to be quite good with its shield. And it would now be Carrick's turn, as you're engaged in the melee.
Yes.
That is a hit.
Ooh,
Oh,
damage freaking low.
you swing down low, catching this one across the leg, sending a couple scales flying. But you don't take it down. It is heavily wounded though.
Stab it in the
Dead.
head.
And you've hit it.
What?
Oh,
the
The no-
irony.
the no bonus on your dagger for damage has really screwed you there. You slice in with it, but it steps back and you just kind of slash it across its nose. As a bit of blood trickles down, but it's
Yeah,
it's
I
fierce.
just stick archery.
Oh, you did 6 points of damage in total. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's alright, it's not brilliant.
Uh,
No damage.
pissed.
Bows was
it,
high damage.
Pissed. It tries to stab out at you with the spear, and misses. He's off balance after getting swiped across the nose and thrusts out,
Ah.
but it goes off to the side. The larger one, though, takes another swing for Umar, who lifts his shield to attempt to block the attack. But it just powers on through anyway, hitting into the shield, pushing it back into Umar, and then bringing it up on its feet and kicking him in the balls
Oh.
as he's distracted with the shield, dealing him a decent amount of damage. He's looking kind of rough. Probably going to need to try and rest if you can find somewhere to get the chance. Strangely, though, you have not been attacked by any more,
More.
which seems odd to you. It is now the little archer, who, with a scream of surprise being charged, rushes back a bit and
You little fuck.
tries to shoot at Beric, but arrow just flies off to the side, completely missing everybody. And it's now Beric's turn.
Seeing as
Okay,
that
gun.
card's running away, I shall turn and
Yeah.
try to stab this coon into the side.
Okay, that is a hit again.
Oh,
D6 for damage for a sneak attack.
game over, sunshine.
Oh,
Ah.
all you needed was a 1. He's on 9. That was so close. I was thinking, like, you can't feel, but if you roll a 1, it would be so close. So, you rush in behind him, slashing him, like, right across the back of the neck and shoulders, and you feel the tip of your blade dig in to the spinal cord as it just falls limp, face first onto the ground at Umar's feet. You still have your offhand with the dagger, or you could try and pick up your sword on the ground.
No, I don't have my dagger.
Oh, you threw it. Do you have another dagger,
Yeah.
though?
No, I only have the one.
Ah, that sucks. You could punch him.
Punch him in the face.
Yeah, I'll go for a punch.
Okay, so roll to hit. It's, roll a d20 plus 1, I think, because your strength is -1.
a 10.
So that is a 10. You rush over to him to try and punch him, and it just looks generally confused that he's being punched, and raises its shield to knock your hand away.
Fuck!
Though, in its distraction, knocking your arm away, which does hurt quite a bit, Umar swings in
Oh.
and just cuts the arm clean off as it lowers its guard, dropping it to the ground, dead, finished off.
And it's lizard people again, or is it?
No.
It is back to Carrick. You can move your hunter's mark with a bonus action now.
I
Since
can.
since your
Where about-
target is dead.
Well, put it on that screen.
Gonna switch it on to little archer dude. You just do your little I'm watching you thing.
Yeet.
And
He's fucked.
and
He is
an
fucked.
extra 6. And yep. As you do that, your arrow just soars out of the bow, catches him right in the face, and you see it ricochet off like the skull part where the eyebrow is, and just go straight down into the eye socket
Yeah.
and drop its body straight onto the ground, pinned down with the arrow. And it is also now dead.
Nice. Right, I
So-
shall gather up my sword and my dagger.
You have them back now.
Is there still the sound of battle, or is it just silence now?
As you've been like sneaking up, you haven't heard any battle from the top of the mine yet. The battle like died down while you were making your way to the tin mine before you decided to like actually go and investigate and try help. But they're probably, like Umar said, locked inside the mine itself, holding the narrow pathways to stop them getting in.
Do we see anyone? If I look across, do I see anyone else in the?
You don't see anyone over across the road on the other side.
Interesting. Right. Are these guys unconscious, or are they all fucking dead?
At this point, pretty much all of them have either bled out or are about to bleed out.
Nice. Right.
Do you want
well,
any of them alive for any reason?
Well,
No.
they don't speak English.
Oh, the ones you encountered before didn't speak English, is the thing. What about
nah,
these
fuck,
ones?
fuck all these guys. I want to sort of go up to the corner of this building, and what can I sort of, if I look up
You're like
at
trying to
my-
look up the street.
yeah, if I look up the street, what can I
So
see?
first you see in between these two buildings, there's a resemblance of what you would call like a shield wall or a phalanx
Oh my
of
goodness.
lizard spearmen. One of the larger ones behind, clearly commanding them, and 2 archers behind that. Further back, I need to like organize these troops now. Trying to work out where they all went, actually, because I have more on another map that we might need, so I need to go count them. Okay.
I'm on 17.
Well, you can continue. The plan is, Carrick, depending on what I see up there, maybe flank them through them side builds.
Yes, yes.
I'll be back in a minute.
Okay.
I'm assuming we're out of combat so we can just yeet.
Yeah,
Get under.
at this point.
I will pause here and glance. Anybody?
Up that window, you can't see anybody.
Anyone here?
No. Like, you can tell, like, everywhere below where that line of spearmen is, there is no one. No one that you can see, anyway.
Gotta get
Hold on, I need to
Move
move them.
feet.
They're, like, more, like, in between those buildings like this.
Ooh,
Like-
damn.
Like, wedged in between the burning buildings. So they are burnt down, so you could climb over the ruins, but at half speed. Hold on.
Yep.
Okay, so like there's the rest of what a barrack can see.
Okay.
It's quite a detachment. A lot of heavily armored ones, and you see one that's a lot bigger than the others. That's the green one right at the very top.
This is gonna be a bit of a fight.
Oh yes. Oh yes, it will.
2 archers, 4 archers total. But would they charge? Would they all just go for it?
You'll have to wait and see what happens.
Okay. I don't really want to move any more than that. What does Lonimar want to do? Where does he go?
He's sticking close to where Barrack is right now, since they're the melee fighters.
Okay, he can only move 60 feet, so he can't even get to freaking building. I am at 80 feet. Okay.
So are you like trying to sneak around the side as best you can without being seen?
Yes.
Do a stealth just to see how well that goes.
I can't find my sheets, bro.
Oh, that's me like looking at Hunter's Mark. So, do you see a little thing that says like core bio spells?
Ah!
Yeah, if you change it back to core, so like if you want to look at your spells, just click the spells part, and then you can see what spells you've got.
Stop! Yeah,
And now I will do some counter stealth, some perception. Oh,
how many can see me? 2? 3? You can't see me. You can't really see me. You can. You can.
the
You can.
furthest one along, so
Oh,
this
damn.
one, that furthest one along, does spot you as you're trying to come up the alley.
You fuck.
So, where does a barrack want to go?
Fuck me, Macaulay. You couldn't have, like, flanked a bit more, like.
Well, if I go on my own, could get bum rushed by myself. You know what I mean? Not ideal.
So
Oh,
what you see is this pretty much phalanx of spears with some archers and an armored one behind that. Then further back, some lighter troops, another armored one, archers, and then in the very back, a very big buff lizard in heavier looking armor, like actual legit armor. Like right in the back. He must be some sort of commander is all you could guess. Like the normal ones are about 3 feet tall. That armored one is about maybe 4.5 feet tall. This one you see, he stands, you would guess, about your height. Like almost double the size of the like little standard troops.
I accept your surrender.
And looks to be wearing what you can tell from that distance is possibly like actual legit looking chainmail and quite a large shield.
I can't really flank much more now because I gotta get within 80 feet.
Well, you can just move to where you want to go. They're not moving. They're holding their
Here-
ground.
Here I'd have to get about there to shoot him, and I
So,
can only get within
Just like
50
show
feet
me
of
the
him.
path that you would want to take to get where you want to go.
I would just go.
Do you want to like inspect like each other's wounds and stuff, you know, to get a good read on how hurt everybody is before any
This
more
is
combat
probably-
starts?
I
Good
think,
idea. Oh no! I just
well-
deleted myself. I didn't know you could do that.
Yes, you can.
It's gone to the warp.
And I think you were on like 14,
wasn't
Could
on
we
5.
maybe,
I
could we
know.
maybe,
something like that. That'll do.
can we have a short rest here? But then just
You could try to have a short rest if they can tell that you think they might advance on your position while you're resting. But at the
we'll
minute, they're currently not moving
we'll try to have a short rest and just sort of
behind that
wait,
house.
wait here behind this house. Collie, mate, back.
Bandage wounds. Okay.
'Cause we
So as
are-
you're having, like as you're like waiting there, you can hear like orders being barked, and glancing around the corner, you do see like this bit at the bottom, this is only what was at the bottom. There's quite a large group who are making their way up the pathway in the direction of the mine.
Shit.
Of course there are.
And you do see the glinting of steel, similar to this larger one at the bottom. So
I'm
there
not gonna
could
have
be
enough
more.
arrows for this.
Oh, you were able to recover your arrows from all the ones you killed.
Okay.
So pretty much like,
Okay.
unless you like miss with like a 1 and you like shoot it way off across the Scarva, or you know, shoot a flying thing so you also shoot it off towards Scarva. Like, yeah. You're probably gonna get them back. It's not that hard, especially when you're resting here.
Oh shit. Big question though. See when I
Mhm.
went for the tumble last night, did Leroy survive the fall?
He did.
Or did he get squished? Oh, he survived.
Leroy
okay.
survived.
Leroy survived.
Barely.
Lucky Leroy.
So-
He's lived really well so far.
So you're attempting to like rest behind this burnt down building as best
Yep.
you can.
Quick
Okay.
breather, bandage, couple of wounds, and push on.
So, oh yeah, so 1, from what you can see, breaks formation and starts running down the road your way, like shouting and screaming in this strange language as it's got its bow ready, thinking that it's gonna come and kill you all.
What the fuck? Carrick, shoot that fucking guy.
So you're gonna shoot him?
What? Yeah. What?
Oh,
that
we'll
lie
say
under?
we'll say he's in range because he's trying to shoot you as well.
Okay.
Oh wait. Can I move my hunter's mark,
can,
or have we?
you can.
How long have we rested?
Not long. When you started your rest, when this guy starts running your direction, you can hear harsh
Okay.
orders being shouted from back in the lines. This guy's clearly breaking protocol. Roll your hit. So
Fumble
as your
forward.
arrow flies out, he has also stopped and took a shot at you. Like you trade shots. You take 3 damage while dealing
Ow.
him 4.
Do I get my hunter's?
You do. Roll your d6.
Ah.
Just
2.
enough. You only needed 6.
Yeah,
So
6 to kill him.
you
Okay.
catch him in the chest, he staggers
Lucky.
back and collapses against the building. then-
Ah!
And then you see back in the lines, another archer runs forward and joins the formation.
Anyone else? Come on, we're open all day.
The formation stays organized this time. No one breaks ranks. And
I'm assuming I
have
can't
some
shoot a shield
food.
wall that well.
You could try and shoot the shield wall at the disadvantage for the range.
We'll get some rest, saying that they're holding formation.
So you're
We'll
gonna
rest. What? How long do we have? To rest.
there's different like ratings that are in the book for like how long a short rest is.
Okay.
I think normally it's an hour, but that just slows things down too much. So we're gonna do what I saw in that series I was watching, which is 15 minutes.
Okay.
So if you wait 15 minutes, you can bandage your wounds, like try and get yourself patched up as best you can.
So can I make my healing rolls?
Yep, you've 2 d10s and a d8.
I have 2 d10s.
2 fighter levels, and then 1 rogue level.
Can I do 1 or 2 of
You have a
those on-
d8 and 2 d10s as well.
I will do.
Fucking
D-
hell, that was a terrible roll.
So you
yeah.
get 5 from your 2 fighter levels.
5 brings me up to.
So Jacob's
14.
at 24, Mackay's at 16.
And then a d6 or d8.
D8.
Wait, what health was I on?
Fuck. You're now on
Was I not-
whatever.
Was I not in 14?
I moved it for what
Oh,
you
you moved
gained
it.
from your.
That is the worst
credit, what is it?
healing rolls I have ever rolled. Ever.
So you're on 19. Mackay.
2 1.
Oh, I'm a 9.
2 fucking 1.
Yeah, you
I
rolled just as
rolled-
bad as Umar. He only got back 7. So you can
gonna-
tell he's just above half.
I'll roll with my D8 as well. And I've
6.
overhealed. Shit.
You have
I
over
think
here?
that's a
Are
problem.
you sure you want to use it? Because you don't have to. You can just stay on 19 if you want. And
No,
use it
I'll
later.
use it. I'll use it. I might have to use it later for the next batch.
You do still have a couple healing potions, I think. You might have like one each or something. Have a discussion there about what your plan is. Work it out while you're having your short rest, and then maybe we'll execute it when you're sure what to do. So while you're resting, Umar's glancing over the burned down building. And he's like, "Ah, I think I was right. They're sending a good portion of their forces up towards the mine. So they must be
A
trying
good
to.
portion of their forces. Have you seen what's down this street?
We'll be fine. They are overestimating. Otherwise, they probably would have attacked and killed us all by now.
Overestimated.
But they've sent a good portion of their forces up to try and maybe finish off whoever's surviving up in the mine. We just need a good plan, good strategy. Maybe if we take the head of the snake, the rest will falter and flee.
Hmm. Think he would accept the duel?
He just glances over and rolling insight. It's hard to really gauge someone you can't see, but from the look of him,
That guy would fuck us up.
it looks as though it's like kind of creature that it might take a duel. The chainmail it's got, like it looks like a legit chainmail, not some scraps of shit that's been destroyed like the other ones are wearing, but
Jack,
some
you
serious stuff.
think you could take that guy?
You would say this guy might. It's hard to tell, but in a one-on-one fight, it would be probably pretty even, maybe one-sided towards his side. It's hard to tell.
50-50.
Hmm.
Believe in the dice.
Depends on the rules, really.
Well, I mean, we
Could
could
go
give
home,
it a
yeah.
go.
Problem is, though, if we get close, I reckon those archers are just gonna shoot.
No. Um. Fuck it. Oh! You! Yeah, you back there, you big skilly fuck!
As you've stepped out, both the archers have took a shot for you.
Oh fuck!
That's gotta be disadvantage.
Like, as you walk out and go, "Oi!" An arrow just flies from one and then the other.
It's 120
First one
feet.
misses.
When I walk around the corner. So it's
Second one misses. They both rolled 9s on their disadvantage. So these are like dropping short at your feet, seeming like warning shots. But you can tell you're out of their effective range.
I'll challenge your commander to single combat!
So as you yell this out, you saw the archers are getting their bows drawn, and then you just start hearing the bang of weapons on shields. As this front line of spearmen start beating their shields with their spears. The one behind them starts banging on the chain on his chest, and from what you can tell, this line starts slowly marching up your direction.
Fuck.
But you do see in the back, roll perception. See what you see over this intimidating marching line.
Perception. Nothing. Absolutely.
For your speech, that you gave your challenge. Roll intimidation.
Do I say anything, Andrew?
You would need to roll perception as well.
Rather an intimidating speech.
So, like,
Oh,
as
shit roll.
so, you're so focused on this approaching spear line of banging weapons, but you do hear amongst the banging some blows of a horn, and you can't really see this, but these two have begun to move up, but you can't really see past the spear line to tell that they're coming. So the spear line.
I'm assuming I'm just gonna sort of stand here. I'm gonna tell Carrick, stay where you are. Umar, start to flank around the building. Don't engage though until things start to get.
So he sneaks around like over here, peeking around the
Well,
corner.
probably not peek, but just behind it.
So
Oh, I know I can peek alright.
are you still standing in the open? Archers haven't shot you yet.
If the archers aren't gonna shoot me, I might just stand here.
And Carrick, what are you doing as the spear line approaches?
Carrick, just get ready to put an arrow through some of them archers' heads if
I'll
they
do
start.
my best.
So, as the banging of weapon on shield continues for maybe about close to a minute, maybe 2 minutes, you then hear one final bang, and this step out either side, forming like a little channel as this huge, like, this guy must be almost 6 feet tall, almost double the size of the spearman, walks
You might
out
want-
through
You might want to drink a healing
Wait a
potion,
minute.
Pam.
as the four
Wait a minute, here's a question.
Yeah.
Does action surge come back after a short rest? Or is
I
it like a
believe
death?
so.
Oh, thank God, I'm gonna need it.
Let me check though. Yep, it comes back after a short rest.
Woo!
Actually, use your second wind and say you used it on your short rest because it comes back as well.
Oh, okay.
And
Is that
Umara
a-
it's
what's that? That's a
D10
D10?
plus your level, your fighter level, which is 2. So you get 9,
So that's 9.
and you still have it. Oh, that put you exactly to full. That was
So, this is gonna be close. I was immediately gonna use my second wind as soon as I got into combat.
yeah, but now you have it and you can use it again. Umar is now also
The
back
fact,
to full.
the fact that Andre's like, oh yes, you may need your second wind here.
You might. I don't know how this is gonna go. So you see this large, like this thing, like it is, like now that you can see it,
McCullough's like, Hunter's not got it.
now that you can see it more clearly walking out, like these other ones you've been fighting, most of them are scrawny and weak, skin and bone. Those more armored ones, they're, you know, more solidly built. But this guy, when he steps through, like it's
OP as
wearing
shit.
it's wearing this like what looks to be like nicely crafted jean shirt, huge heavy like a square like rectangle like heater shield,
Okay.
and has a morning star grasped in its
Oh.
other hand
Uh-oh.
as it starts walking your direction, and you can now audibly hear chuckling, laughing as it steps out. It's like, and then in bad
Make
common,
him come to you.
but actual common you can understand. You think you can kill me? I have killed many men that think they can kill me. You will just be another for my trophy rack. Come, little boy, come fight me.
Lizard's afraid of mice.
You have no clue.
Throw the fucking mouse at him. Leave me alone!
Jenkins.
Alright, draw both swords.
You're getting ready for the battle?
Yep.
Roll an initiative to see who's going first in this duel.
I accept your surrender.
Oh, you are going second.
I thought
Oh,
that.
Yes. So, as things start, it just starts like a slow walk towards you, still laughing, chuckling to itself, and then almost last second, with a flash of speed, just darts up with a swing of its morning star coming straight for your head. With a
Right.
with a
Right. Kevin.
with surprising speed.
The fact that Andre keeps saying the word surprise
Yeah, like
means
this is a very large
it's
lizard.
scary, Andre. It means I'm gonna take
Oh
high damage
fuck.
here.
This isn't gonna be good. This is gonna be very bad. I just had to, just
roll
had to
for
for
it.
the first roll of combat, roll a natural 20.
Oh, great.
That was, oh fuck, that was the wrong dice roll. Well, you take, okay, you didn't roll that good. You take 9 points of damage
Oh, thank God.
as it
That's-
slams you. It gets you right in the chest of the Morning Star. You can feel one of the spikes pierce through and cut into your skin as you're heavily bruised from the rest of the impact. And then, still closing in the distance, it goes for a kick to the balls.
What?
Because you're not the only one who's getting more than one attack here. He
Doesn't
is
it?
as well. But with the Morning Star kinda in a way stuck in your chest piece, he goes for the balls kick. But you narrow with the impact of the blow, it pushes you back enough that the balls kick does miss.
Woo! My testes will live.
It is now your turn.
My turn.
As it's still laughing in your face, you could see saliva drooling down. It's like kind of, they're like pale orange scales as it's
Yes,
drooling
that
down its face.
is a miss.
Yeah, you pull back from the Morning Star, try to take a swing, and it almost effortlessly just raises its shield and like pushes away your blade from the swing. And then as you swing it on the other side, it pulls its Morning Star back from you. And just parries that blade away. Getting
Action turns.
Oh.
Then.
Go for it.
Oh,
Oh.
fuck.
so,
No, not
so-
a single hit.
like you come back in with more strikes and it just does the same thing, just parries off of the Morning Star, blocks with the shield, laughing, just you fool, and just swings in with the Morning Star, sweeping for your legs.
Oh, this is gonna go
It does,
badly.
like, kick up some mud towards you, splattering your feet, but the first strike misses, and then it comes in for a backhand with the Morning Star. And just like this would be the kind of slow motion scene where you lean back a bit and the Morning Star just passes by your face, maybe cutting a bit of your fringe as it goes by. He almost hit you there.
Fuck. Right. Well. Fuck me. Give
So-
my brother a break.
Main hand comes in and he just brings that shield back around and knocks your sword away from hitting him.
Yeah.
Oh, but
Finally.
but he kind of off balanced himself, and your offhand comes in, finding a gap in the armor, piercing into his side, doing 5 damage.
God damn it.
Oh,
I rolled a 1 there.
you rolled a 2.
Oh.
Close to 1 though. But after getting stabbed, he kind of takes a step with the cut there. He's like, ha! It's been a while since a human pup has hurt me. And then
All that for a drop of blood.
takes a step forward and like just jumps into you for a grapple. You're not gonna try and outstrength him or be pinned to the ground.
Oh, great.
And this probably isn't gonna. Remember, you have your inspiration, so you can still roll any d20 you want at any time.
Oh, do I have 2 of those?
You can only have one.
Oh.
You do not stack. Oh, so you actually win. He rolled a 9. So
Drown him in the dirt.
as he comes in for the grapple, you seem to be faster than him. So you take a step out of the way and shove him down into the like muck of the path. But he scrabbles up to his feet and is doing. He tries to take like a disadvantaged swing since he's on the ground, trying to swing up at you.
Probably will fucking hit me still.
He does not. He barely misses you, scraping across the steel of your chest piece with sparks going flying. It's not your
Do
turn.
I get an advantage hit now?
He uses the rest of his turn to get back up after his attack,
What
since
a
he didn't
bitch.
actually walk anywhere.
Nope.
Oh. Yet again, first attack hacks into the shield, but while he's blocking it, you get a sneak in there with the second short sword, dealing 9 points of damage. Oh. So, as you've stabbed in at him, as you're like pulling your hand away from the strike, he tries to bring the Morning Star down onto like that arm that's outstretched. Trying to catch it as best he can. He does not. Your arm just shoots out of the way before he can smack at the Morning Star. And then with the momentum of trying to crush that arm of the Morning Star, he brings the shield round to try and bash you in the face and stun you.
Strength check.
Oh, no, it's just an attack, which you duck out of the way. He drops low and instead of smashing in the face, hits into your chest piece, doing no damage.
Waha!
Chest piece saving your ass here. You would have took like 3 hits if you weren't wearing it. It is now your turn though. And again, like, his shield's already so close to you, so he just brings it down from your chest, knocking your arm down.
Damn.
And then as you try and take another swing, just swings the shield and just knocks your arm back. This is a long, intense duel. Steadying himself, swings back around with the Morning Star. But you're just too fast for this hulking brute, and he just swings, this time missing by quite a bit, slamming it into the mud, and then bringing it up covered in mud, trying to get your face again, but missing. And you get some mud just now, splatters onto your face, but it does not blind you. It is your turn again. Everybody's just missing in this combat.
Yes.
Oh,
a hit.
you get a good hit in
Nice.
with your main hand, finding a gap in the chain armor in his chest, grazing across like the upper chest. And then a second attack comes in,
Oh,
striking
hot
into
diggity dog.
striking into the same spot as the first attack. You can see him step back slightly with a snarl and then surge forward, swinging again with the Morning Star. Just missing you again as you dart out of the way. And then misses again. Like, he's got a +5 to hit. I literally need to roll an 11 or more on a dice, and I can't do it.
Yes.
Fuck me. So, you swing in, but he brings it up, parries one, parries the next.
I'm gonna use my one of my the
Inspiration.
inspiration to
Oh.
reroll.
Oh,
Go for it.
Actually, can I do that?
You
Yeah.
can use it to reroll any dice,
Okay.
even after you've rolled it the first time.
Oh.
Oh, it's barely a hit.
Oh.
Barely sneaks in through a gap in the side of the armor. Looks like it's gonna miss, but then you remember the hardship of the mountain. You remember having to take Talia's life, and she gave her life so you could live, and you're not gonna throw your own life away so easily. And you catch him straight in the side, piercing in through a gap in the chainmail, where it's like held together. You feel this one goes in quite deep into its side, and it pulls back, the blade coming out from its side as it swings forward as hard as it can, catching you straight in the chest with a hit this time.
Oh.
Pain driving it forward. as it does 13 points of damage.
Oh,
It
shit.
rolls max on the d8, smacking you straight in the chest. A couple holes being left in the breastplate, and you can feel you might have a broken rib or two underneath. And then comes in for the next attack. Again with the Morning Star. But you can see overconfidence in its eyes as it hit you so hard. And you manage to get your sword up, nick its wrist slightly, and the Morning Star goes flying into the mud beside it as you disarmed him with the one.
It's just off the ass.
It is now your turn.
Right, I'm gonna use with the disarmament. I'm gonna go for an attack.
Brings
and
the shield
then-
round, blocks the first.
And then with a furious anger, I'm going to scream furiously at it and regain some health.
Oh,
Ah!
nice. So you forfeited the attack for some health gain. I like it.
Bring
So
my back up to 22.
22. So as you like scream at him with some fury, it screams back at you and just charges forward with the shield, trying to again grapple you and knock you over. Strength
Son of
check
a
him.
bitch.
Oh,
Oh,
this time he catches you mid-scream, shoulder into your stomach, pushing through the chest plate, like knocking the wind out of you as you fall to the ground. And then you see from its side it pulls this like jagged-looking shank of a dagger carved from some sort of bone and tries to bring it down for your neck. Oh, he does barely get a hit though. And luckily it's a dagger, or it would have been much worse. Deals another 6 points of damage to you as it tries to get your neck, but stabs instead straight into your collarbone.
Ow.
Oh yeah, like you think it might have stabbed straight through that bone and broke it. So you're hurting bad. Hurt very bad. Only like the inspiration of your scream of a second wind is keeping you alive right now. But it is your turn.
I shall.
You will have disadvantage attacking him since you're now grappled and pinned to the ground. So you can try and break free from his grip on you using
If
your
I-
attack.
If I
or-
break free, can I still use
You
a
could
second
you
attack?
could offhand attack him.
I shall try to use my strength.
Oh no, that's not probably. Okay, so you try and chuck him off, but he is really heavy and well built, and you can feel the muscles rippling in his arms as he just keeps the shield pushed onto your chest, pushing you into the muck of the ground, keeping a
Alright.
height advantage over you.
Right. Well, I'll just I'm assuming I can't try it again and sacrifice my second offhand attack.
No, just your main attack to try it.
where is this guy's sword?
His Morning Star?
Yeah.
It's somewhere in the muck. You cannot see it. It's just like
Right,
in
okay.
the wet muck of the ground.
I have a really bad idea, but I'm not gonna do it yet.
Oh,
Oh
the first
my.
one would have hit, but the second one
Aw,
would
you're
not have hit.
joking.
This chainmail and shield is really good. So you try and bring up your short sword to stab him in the side, but his other hand that isn't pinning you down shoots out, grabs your wrist, like clenching onto you in the grapple that continues. On his turn, so like to do that, he like dropped this knife to grab you. So he's now gonna push your hand of the sword back and come in to try and start just beating you with his fists, punching as hard as he can. And he only gets one hit out of his two. You manage to shift your head just out of the way to avoid the second one. And from the punch, you take 4 damage as he socks you as hard as he can straight into the face. This is a close battle. It is now your turn now.
Alright, I'm gonna have to try to strength my way to my feet. I rolled disadvantage on that. God damn it. Probably didn't have to.
No, just the attacks.
Uh,
He does keep
Alright.
you pinned down as you try and struggle. You can tell like this thing probably weighs at least 200 or more pounds. And then with his armor, he's probably close to 300, over double your weight.
Alright,
Is on
well,
top
I'll
of
just
you.
try to stab the cunt and he'll.
Oh, almost. Almost. As he's punched you, he just brings his hand back around to grasp your wrist, keeping you from striking him as you're struggling on the ground.
Would this situation be improved in any way at all if I accidentally cast a smoke screen?
Possibly. That's up to you, though. If you want to do that, you can.
I'm sitting here going, maybe.
If that's what you want to do, you can do it. There's no one that can really stop you.
But he's on top of him though, which is.
Might be confused enough to break free. As Carrick's hesitating, big monster dude comes in for more punches, just knocks your hand aside, tries to just keep pummeling your face into the dirt. The first one, you manage to move out of the way, and then instead of a punch, his punch misses, and then he just grabs the side of your face for the second one and rakes the claws of his hand across the side of your face, where you're already like fresh.
Lad, you're not
Scars.
gonna be good with the women after this. Like,
They might appreciate the scars, Macaulay. They might
Yeah,
appreciate
mate.
the scars. Some women are into that. And he does another 4 points of damage, clawing like from like
I'd have to.
your hairline, where like your ear is, across your face, like down over your cheek towards your neck. I have 4 giant scrapes down that same side where the bird struck you.
Right. If I feel strength, this is me dead, so.
It could be. You don't know how close this fight in terms of health is right now. So close.
smoke
rolled
screen.
I
Smoke
rolled
screen.
You didn't need the
No,
advantage on that
I-
one. You actually
disadvantage.
won that. So,
No.
as he's clawing across your face, you manage to get a knee up and catch him in his lizard balls. And he rolls off and gets up as best he can to his feet as you're also scrambling up to your feet. Blood is just seeping down your face, down your neck, across your chest. You're bleeding heavily from the face at this point. You still have your offhand attack you can make.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to think what to do here.
As soon as he attacks, I might do the smoke screen.
You can tell that you're both on your last legs at this point. If you got one good, like really good strike in.
Death!
Oh no! So
Smoke screen.
you just shot out to the death, swinging in, glancing off the chimney on his chest, and then suddenly a giant, just cloud of smoke appears over the battlefield, and I will check how big that is. 20
It's only
foot
20
radius
feet.
sphere of fog. So where do you want to start it? Like right on top
I was
of them?
gonna do it like right in the center. of
This is your
where they are.
last spell of the day.
I will do it.
Okay. So 20 foot. Okay, let me see here.
Anything to cloud this big man's judgment.
So draw me out like a 20-foot line so I can
I don't even-
gauge how big to make this sphere.
It's not very big. It's literally like.
Oh,
like
so
that.
it's like literally just
It's encircling them.
yeah, it's like just on them in the battlefield. So we'll say it's like this.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Can't. Oh, there we go. And
Only you
move
can't.
it to the
You
back.
can't. I'll move it back. Yeah.
Struggling to grab it because the lines are so small on the map is so big.
Yeah.
Hit.
Nobody's seen me cast spells. Nope.
Hit.
I'm gone. I'm not here.
Okay, so it's like
I-
literally just over top of the
Brew?
co-combatants.
No, brew.
So it is now Big Lizard Boy's turn, but you've now been obscured from his sight. And any attacks against each other, since you can't see each other, are now at disadvantage. And you can just hear him swinging in the direction he thought you were in with his clawed hands, striking out, and you feel one whiz straight past your face, and then the other one come up, scraping across your chest piece, catching you in the chin and scrabbing like right up underneath your jawline, as you pretty much get uppercut, taking another 4 points of damage from his claws.
Fuck.
More blood. Like this is still on that same left side of your face, like
Yeah.
like straight up your neck, up like to like the bottom of your jaw. That has been raked with these claws, blood flowing freely.
Could I, for my turn here, can I, like, get out of the smoke and come behind him
You could,
in
yeah.
the confusion?
You couldn't hear like a ruckus and shouting coming from the other lizards, like further up the street where he came from. There is obviously discourse as some foul play is at play here.
There's no foul play in smoke. It's clearly false.
You're not part of the duel, and it's a solid, like, just circle of smoke that has appeared.
Not at all.
Do I have to roll stealth to get behind him, or?
No, he can't see you in the smoke. He tries to swing out and find you as he can hear you stepping away, but he misses. Just swinging out where you were instead of where you stepped.
Alright, and then
Are
I
you
just roll-
stepping out of the smoke to try and then run in and attack him? Or are you just
Kinda
staying
just-
in the smoke?
Staying in the smoke.
Okay, so you're at disadvantage to hit, but if you hit, I will give you the sneak attack damage. Since you can't really see him that well either, but he can't see you to brace for where the attack's coming from. If... Oh, you get the hit, you get it.
Oh,
Roll your damage,
oh my god.
and then d6 for the sneak attack.
Please, please.
Oh, so you see like a shift of darker movement in the smoke as you sneak around, and you thrust in, and you can feel your sword pierce through the chainmail, a good maybe 5 or 6 inches in through his back. And you hear a as he goes to start spinning around, but you have your second attack. You can tell that was an almost death blow.
Would this
Almost.
be disadvantaged, or?
This one would still be disadvantaged because
Oh
you
god.
can roughly feel where he is, but you can't see exactly where. Here you go. Roll your damage. Whereabouts would you try and hit him?
Decapitate.
So
Oh.
as you stabbed in and you see him try and turn to surge towards you, he actually pushes against the blade, forcing it deeper into his side, and a hand reaches it, grabbing you by the throat, pushing you out of the fog. He's like, I see you now, boy. And then your blade swings up and just catches the throat, goes through, and the head just falls off as soon as he finishes the word boy, plummeting into the dirt, and the body stands there for a second, and then just crumples after it, and you fall to the ground, bleeding heavily from your face, from your neck. Your chest is bruised and broken.
Is the smoke starting to clear?
No, it lasts an hour.
Yeah, it lasts an hour unless Mackay dispels it.
Yes.
I just sort of stumble to my feet, find the head, axe at the smoke, and then just.
Well, he pushed you out, so it's like out
Oh.
of the smoke. You can just see it and just hold it up.
Just.
They're
Ah!
on their lives.
Umber! Attack now!
Oh my god. Wow.
He hears the call of battle, and you just see him come out of nowhere, swing for this super unsuspecting archer and just cleaves straight down its back as it
Run!
drops to the
Run,
floor.
you lizard bastards! I'm just gonna kick its head up the street towards
So
them.
just drop kick its head towards them.
Yeah.
Make
Intimidation.
intimidation with advantage.
Gentlemen, it's 22:34.
Yeah, I know. Ah!
Okay, so the entire front line, apart from the one on the far right, runs back, screaming in fear. The two large ones kind of step back warily and see the rest of them running, and then they start backing up slowly, trying to get away from you. So
Right.
all the ones left alive except one run.
Nice. We will have to leave it on a cliffhanger there.
We'll
'cause
just
I
say,
don't have-
Macaulay, roll a dice to kill that first. That one that didn't run. Because
Wait,
just roll advantage on it as well. Just,
hang on.
okay, you killed him. Like he's dead. You're probably not gonna miss anyway at that range with surprise and everything.
An advantage.
Yeah, so you shoot at, just fucking dome him, kill his ass for the sake of saving time. And yeah, you barely won. You had him on like 7 health for over half the duel, and then you started missing, and he started missing, and so many misses, and you just needed to hit him
I
once.
thought I
Really.
was gonna die. If that smoke saved my ass, like,
It-
I'm
like,
pretty sure.
If Macaulay hadn't done that smoke, he would have hit you with both those claw attacks, and probably ripped your throat out, because you're at 4. The minimum he could roll for a melee attack was 4
It's
damage.
4, yeah,
So he
yeah,
would have
yeah,
been
yeah.
at 0.
The only thing I could do is just sit there and go, is there anything I can do? I don't want to shoot him. That's
I
horrible.
was hoping I was like,
That's just
I was like, Macaulay, please. If I get down to 4 or 5 health, just start killing them
Oh.
yourself.
The smoke was perfectly timed there.
It's definitely an ability by me. Definitely not. Definitely not Macaulay. Interfering.
No,
No, totally
no,
not.
no.
Totally not.
No.